Hello guys, today we gonna talk about top 10 anime where bad boy falls in love with girl, so let's get started. Number 10 is Wolf Girl and Black Prince. High school student Erika Shinohara is desperate to belong to a clique so she won't feel lonely. She must, however, resort to lying about having a boyfriend because her clique is made up of girls who do. Erika photographs a random passerby to add authenticity to them. Kaya Yasada, who is the guy, is regrettably the most well-liked student at her school. He agrees to play the part of her boyfriend when Erika asks him to, but only if she becomes his wolf girl by treating him like a pet. Erika is shocked to learn that Kaya is much darker-hearted than the princely persona he presents to others. He frequently snarks, insults, and generally has a pessimistic outlook on life. However, Erika finds herself gradually drawn to him and eventually falling in love with him. When Erika renounces her role as the wolf girl due to a misunderstanding, Kaya softens and realizes that he is attracted to her as well. He then promotes Erika to become his real girlfriend in response. Number 9 is Koikimo. Salaryman Ameku Sarayo is saved by an unknown high school girl at the station one rainy day. He later learns the girl's name is Aramechika. In an effort to thank her for saving him, Ryo suggests kissing her or going on a date with her, but Ichika tells him he's creepy. Ryo is a bit of a womanizer, but Ryo now has a new opportunity, and he falls head over heels for her. Since then, Ryo has made an effort to tell Ichika everything that is on his mind. He simply seems to interpret Ichika's insults and claims that he is being creepy as an expression of her affection for him. Number 8 is Horimiya. Is Yumi Miyamura, a glum and seemingly nerdy boy with glasses, is Kyoko Hori's classmate. Kyoko Hori is a bright and well-liked high school student. Hori is a domestic goddess who dresses casually and takes care of her younger brother Sauda. She makes every effort to keep this from her classmates so as not to jeopardize her social standing and worry others. Sauda returns home one day with a nosebleed. A young man named Miyamura, who introduces himself as being with him, had been with him. They agree to keep their true identities hidden from their peers after recognizing Hori even when she is dressed casually. But as time goes on, and they get to know one another better, they realize they have more in common than they first thought. They resolve to work together to help one another keep their after-school identities a secret. The two unexpectedly become closer than ever as time goes on. Number 7 is Earl and Fairy. Fairy doctors have been intermediaries between humans and fairies throughout history. But in the 19th century, fairies are only an urban legend. One of the few remaining fairy doctors, Lydia Carleton, leads a peaceful life in the English countryside. However, mysteriously, the flirtatious bad boy Edgar abducts her and takes her on a perilous journey. Edgar wants the noble sword of the marrow, which would serve as evidence of his ancestry. He is thought to be a descendant of the Earl of the Fairy Nation. Lydia now sets out to assist Edgar in his search, despite the fact that his intentions and background are murky. Number 6, My Little Monster. The central relationship in My Little Monster is between Shizuku Mizutani, a girl with no interests other than studying and her future plans, and Haru Yashida, a boy who sits next to Shizuku in class but rarely goes to school. Shizuku and Haru begin their new relationship when Shizuku is assigned to deliver class printouts to Haru's house. Haru welcomes Shizuku as a friend right away. Shizuku, also known as Dry Ice, is known for being emotionless and cold. But when she first meets Haru, she is moved by his innocence and his lack of experience with interpersonal relationships. Haru is actually a kind and gentle creature despite being regarded as a vicious and uncontrollable monster. Haru declares his love for Shizuku right away, but it takes Shizuku much longer to acknowledge and accept her own feelings for Haru. They teach each other how to take care of one another and interact with their friends and family as two previously asocial beings. Number 5 is Kakurio, Bed and Breakfast for Spirits. College student Teiitsu Beki possesses the gift of seeing Ayakashi, which she inherited from her late grandfather. When Ai passes a Tori shrine one day, she notices an Ayakashi sitting there and hears it say it is hungry. However, the Ayakashi, a Nogur by the name of Odana, kidnaps Sei after feeding it. He leads her to the Hidden Realm, the home of all Ayakashi. Ai is informed that her grandfather owes him money, and as payment she must wed him. Instead, Ai bargains with the ogre and offers to work at the Tenjinzia, the Ogre's Inn. Number 4 is Maid Sama. Seika High, known for its rowdy students and once an all-boys school, has recently opened its doors to co-ed students. Even with the recent changes, there are still fewer women than men, so Misaki Ayuzawa works hard to make the school a better place for girls. She works extremely hard in both academics and athletics, winning the respect of her professors. She eventually becomes the first female president of the student council. Misaki has developed a reputation as a strict, boy-hating demon dictator among the male students and as a beacon of hope for the instructors and her female classmates. Despite this, she secretly works a part-time job at a maid cafe to pay back the enormous debt their father left them in order to support her mother and younger sister. Takumi Yushi, a popular boy at Seika High, unfortunately learns Miss Seiki's secret quickly. To Miss Seiki's dismay, Yushi decides to keep it for himself instead of sharing it with the school, and even starts frequenting the cafe. Yushi, who is renowned for being brilliant in almost everything from academics to athletics, and for having turned down many confessions from his female peers, likes Misaki because he finds her to be interesting. After encountering a number of awkward circumstances, such as being confronted by a long-forgotten childhood friend, Misaki falls in love with Yushi. Yushi returns her feelings, and the two quickly start dating. Number 3 is my teen romantic comedy Snafu. Hachiman Hikageya is a semi-nihilistic and narcissistic high school student who lacks motivation. He is adamant that everyone who says otherwise is just deluding themselves, and that carefree youth is nothing but a farce. Hachiman's teacher makes him join the volunteer service club as a punishment for writing an essay mocking contemporary social relationships. The club's mission is to lend a helping hand to any student who requests it in order to pursue their objectives. Hachiman finds himself dealing with other people's problems on the front lines, which is a position he never imagined he would be in since the only other club member is the stunning ice queen Yukino Yukinashida. Will Hachiman's skewed perspective on society prove to be a barrier or something he can use to his advantage as he and Yukino use their wits to solve many students' problems? Number 2 is Yoharu Ride. Futaba Yoshioka wants to reset her life and image as a new high school student for a number of reasons. She was teased by her female classmates in junior high for being cute, and due to a miscommunication, she was unable to express her feelings to Tanaka-kun, the only boy she has ever liked. She is determined to be as unladylike as she can be now that she is in high school, so that her friends won't be envious of her. She meets Tanaka-kun again while happily going about her life. However, he is now known as Kaumabuchi. When they were younger, he says he shared her sentiments, but that is no longer the case. Will Futaba be able to carry on the romance that she didn't even begin 3 years ago? Number 1 is Fruits Basket. Toru Honda, a high school student, decides to move in with her grandfather after learning that her mother died in a car accident. She temporarily leaves her grandfather's home due to renovations to the property and an unhelpful, cruel family member. Toru declines the invitation to stay with one of her 2 closest friends out of respect for them. Toru starts off by living in a tent and supporting herself because she has nowhere else to go. Toru moves into the Soma house, though after finding a nearby house where her popular classmate Yuki Soma and his cousin Shigeru live, and after a landslide destroys her tent. On her first day there, she meets Kaio, Yuki and Shigeru's orange-haired cousin, who crashes through the ceiling and challenges Yuki to a duel. The Soma family curse is revealed when Toru attempts to stop him and accidentally bumps into him, turning him into a cat in front of her. Kaio is the only member of the family who is not affected by this curse. The other 12 members change into their respective zodiac animals when they are weak, stressed, embarrassed, or hugged by someone of the opposite gender.